of regional value chains in South Asia. Our studies have suggested that there is enormous potential. But as everybody has highlighted, there are enabling conditions that are required, and they do not exist in South Asia. Just to give an example, regional value chains are production hubs which are actually linked through services. And trade in goods and trade in services get enmeshed in that process. This necessitates also cross-border investments. Now, what is happening in South Asia? Despite the fact that services are important and predominant, components of respective GDPs, we still do not have a SAARC or South Asian Services Agreement which is actually implemented. We know that there are export supply constraints in South Asia which actually reflect in trade deficits, for which you require investments that are trade creating, but we still do not have an agreement on intra-regional investment. Now, if we do not have enabling conditions on FDI, on trade in services, of which mode 3 is FDI also. And in trade in goods, India has unilaterally given concessions to LDCs, but still, the commitments from LDCs are not there. In such a scenario, when the main instruments, the main modalities or main tools that can bring about regional value chains, which is trade in goods, trade in services, and FDI flows flowing seamlessly, and we do not have an institutional mechanism, despite the fact that we have been negotiating, it actually raises a very big and important question, and I would just touch upon that. I have been hearing same problems for the last 28 years in South Asia. And every time lack of political will is considered to be as something because of which South Asia is not what it should be. In this room and outside, in think tanks, there are people who interact at the highest level in their respective governments, which includes politicians, bureaucrats. Politicians seek inputs, bureaucrats seek inputs, and our think tanks in the region provide inputs. Yet, something is wrong, something is not happening in South Asia, just as other regions are actually demonstrating. What is it that is happening? And the point is that it is a collective failure of all of us, that our research, our arguments, our policy prescriptions might be very good, but our communication to our bureaucracy who negotiate and our political leaders, we have failed collectively in South Asia, and therefore we cannot blame just the political class not having political will. Just to give an empirical evidence, sir, because you were also involved in that, and Dr. Nagesh is here. At RIS, we did a study which was based on national studies in trade in services, which was culminated into a regional study, which was submitted to SAARC Secretariat. RIS was the coordinator. That was appreciated, adopted by all the governments. Then the mandate to draft a services agreement in trade was given. That was done. The draft agreement was negotiated by the negotiators. It was approved. It was signed. It was ratified. I don't know what is still the ratification process. It was negotiated. There was a regional common template arrived at, which is lying in the government's chambers, and nothing is happening. Who owns that report? There is collective lack of ownership of that report. I do not see the academic community of South Asia, the bureaucracy, and the political leadership to own that report and own that agreement. And my point is simple, that if we had problems with trade in services agreement, then why did we start this process? And if we started, why did not we handle all those constraints during the study and implementation stage or negotiation stage of the agreement itself? Why later? Thank you, sir.